Hello, everyone. Welcome to Amazing Transformations. How are you this evening? I'm so excited to be here with you. Hey, Neo, thank you for coming to say hi. Neo wants to talk about his why. The reason, okay, he's got your bell. This Diana Varner plant base gave me this bell, so he decided he wanted to come and play with it. This episode is titled "What is Your Why?" And the reason don't knock it over. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like I just identified something like earlier this month, I guess it was, where I started thinking about, why I'm vegan. And when I was going over this program that I came up with here, my new coaching program, BLISS, and I was thinking, okay, the first thing is to believe in your why. And I thought about it, and my why has changed so many times, not really changed, but more like evolved. For example, when I first went plant based, or that's what I called it, plant based, because I was basically just trying to lose weight. When I saw that video about the raw healing video that I watched, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I love this. I can't, I'm excited to try this. I need to lose weight. And I wasn't even thinking about reversing any health conditions. And then, like, over time, after about 30 days, when I realized my chronic back pain had just disappeared, then my why became, okay, yeah, I wanted to lose weight. Now I'm like, okay, now it's like it's something I'll never stop doing, or I don't want to stop doing, because it's like it's taking away my back pain. And then when I realized allergies went away, I was like, okay, now my why is I never want to experience allergies again. Every, third day of the spring, I would be miserable and having to take Claritin and things. So I'm like, okay, there's another, why, now that I'm thinking back about it. And then after 6 months, when I started to realize and make all these connections about what happens in animal slaughter and how, the dairy industry treats cows and how the babies are taken away and all this stuff. And I was like, now my why is in my heart. It's the animals. And I still have all those other whys. However, I do feel like that's the most powerful one that really resonated with me, that no matter what, I'll never eat any animal products again. And so I think we have to evolve on our journey of why. I'm interested, though, in what your why is. Hey, welcome. Welcome, Tessa. Welcome, Apple a Day, my friends. I'm so excited to see you here. I'm glad you're here too. Thank you. Apple said, what an amazing topic. Glad to be here. And she said that she's making her dinner salad. Awesome. Tessa, welcome. Hey, how are you? I'm ready to make my salad too in a little while. As soon as we get done here, in fact, I think I might do a little workout on the stepper. I've been trying to do that every day, and then I stopped for a while, and then now I've started again. So I'm doing that. And then my friend Angela Fischetti would be proud. I'm upgraded to my 5-pound weight. So maybe next time you guys see me on here, I'm going to be showing some muscle. So yeah, so tell me, like, there's a link in the description. Also, I'll put it here. But definitely, if you want to comment and tell me if you feel comfortable sharing what your why was, and I'll, put it up here on the screen on the little comment screen here and share it. Or you can even click and come in. It's definitely an open forum, so you can come on even on the panel. You can come on camera, or you can leave your logo on, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you want to come and talk, I have the windows open because it's so beautiful here, so I'm sorry if you hear like a little bit of traffic going by here, but it's definitely keeping Neo interested, so that he's not over here trying to knock the bell over. I've got my little clipboard here so I can take some notes down. I know it's right. It's like I've gone old fashioned again. I'm like writing on this thing because I found this little notepad that Dawn had, and I actually had my first coaching session. I'm so excited about that. Not that I haven't helped people before, but like an official coaching session to help them to kind of achieve their health goals and their plant based goals. So, that was the interesting thing. And I also have learned, or I've read, and you guys might have heard this too, um, that people who kind of go vegan for the animals tend to stay vegan, as opposed to like when people kind of look at it as a diet, they might go in and out of, being plant, maybe they're doing it for, what, I wanted to lose weight, let's just say. And I feel like, that's why with other diets, even though with other diets I had lost weight, yet I still never ended my chronic back pain. Like I always had back pain. That's how I know that there's something special to this diet. And especially putting a lot of whole, fresh foods in, it is something different about it. And it also like changes you in so many ways. I think that it's inevitable that if you're plant-based for long enough, at least if you're in plant-based groups and you did what I did and kind of delved into it and read and researched, I feel like at some point you will learn that connection about your pets and other animals. There's no difference. And it's almost like you have to fight yourself on it because you don't want to have been wrong on this, because then you start to feel kind of guilty that you were eating the animals before. But I understand, you know what I mean? Because I was there, right? Um, Apple said, "Oh, that's fancy with the restream link, right? Watch out now. I'm getting better, right? At first, I didn't even know how to turn this thing on. I had to have Dawn literally come in. This is like her restream account, and I'm just like a guest person on it. So I had to her come on and like literally always start the stream, and then I would jump in. But now I've got my own little account. Thanks, Apple." Tessa said, "For me, it's the animals, but initially it was for weight loss." That's right, because we talked about this on the one I did of the 4 tips for weight loss. And that's funny because we both had that revelation. Do you remember, Tessa, like how long it was when you first went plant-based before you like, I guess, kind of realized that it was more about the animals now? I think for me, I might have just said this. Sometimes I repeat myself, right? It happens when you get 47. But I think for me, it might have been like 4 months in. I remember seeing some kind of meme or something. And then I saw it wasn't Neil Bernard, but it was, I'm trying to think. Oh, actually, Milton Mills. I'm like friends with him too on Facebook. He's so cool. He said that I remember seeing his thing that like totally changed my world when he was like, milk does a body good as marketing, it's not science. And I had never heard that before, and I never connected I'd see like memes and stuff about like the baby cow and why are we drinking the milk from the mother, and like that's where I initially started connecting the dots. And then I started connecting that day I saw my cat in the window, and her back leg just looked like a thigh, and like, I mean, like a thigh that you would eat like poultry all of a sudden. And I was like, that's crazy. I've been eating like literally a thing, a living being, and it was like it happened. It was an evolution happened, but I remember that moment of connecting that, like, wow. And all of a sudden the whole world just changed. Like it was just different. Like I started seeing everything. And even as it goes on and on, the longer you're vegan, I feel like even little small, things, that little creatures, you just see everything as like having its own little like life and personality and wanting to live. And oh, thank you. Apple said that you're vegan for the animals and the environment. And that's another one, the environment that I don't think so many people, even people who like, do a lot of work in their life to conserve plastic and, and do a lot of things for the environment. I don't think that's one of the connections that a lot of people have made, is for the environment. And then like world hunger, I've been reading a lot about that, like how we're using so many resources to pay for, like we're using so much food to feed the animals that we're breeding just to slaughter them, and it creates, it's then we're giving people the meat, but the meat is only feeding a select few people of what all those resources could feed, of all that food and land and water that people could be, eating. And that's where it comes into world hunger even. So that's a good why. Thank you for sharing that. um 7 years, so like 7 years you before you saw that. I saw footage from a dairy farm. Oh yeah, I've seen some of those. And for like new vegans that aren't, there yet, or haven't, just seen any of that yet, that is the most disturbing thing you can ever see, if you ever see footage from a dairy farm, or at least the ones that I saw. Let me make that bigger, because I was born to vegetarian parents 57 years ago. That is so cool. And was raised vegetarian. Became vegan in 1994, and then high raw 3 years ago. Nice. Okay, so let me get this straight. Okay, so you were raised vegetarian. No wonder Tessa said lucky. I saw that message after this one. And that's great. Wow, 1994. No wonder you have so much, knowledge and experience in this. And also high raw 3 years ago. Do you feel? I love being high raw or all raw. Like I feel like such a different. Like I feel a difference, even though over time, like no matter what you do to improve your health, just eliminating dairy and meat, you're going to feel better. And then I feel like, going to Whole Foods, you feel a little bit different or a little better. And then when you go to the high raw or raw vegan, it's just like you also feel a different energy level. So I'm really happy for you. Thank you for sharing that, Apple. And then Tessa, oh, that was your lucky. Yeah, lucky to be born to vegetarian parents, right? Like we ate vegetables, but definitely weren't vegetarian. No wonder your name is Apple. Right. I love that. I love Apple's name. I remember that when I saw it, and I was like, am I allowed to just say Apple, or do I say Apple a day all of it? But it's so funny how we hear that. Like so much in our life, like we hear the apple a day keeps the doctor away, and it's almost like a joke or a cliche, but like in reality it truly does. Like all the fruits can have all these powerful like antioxidants and things that can, jump in there and help your body do what it needs to, and help your body heal itself. Do you guys find you get sick a lot less or hardly ever? Like I know I definitely I've had like maybe one. Yeah, I can tell you exactly one time I've ever had like even a. It was probably about one full day of like sneezing and things like that. And I remember telling you guys it was after I went raw for 3 months and ended up binging out on some cooked processed vegan food that I shouldn't have been doing. We had tacos and stuff, and I like woke up that Monday feeling terrible. I think my body was having some type of immune response to re-entering cooked processed food and chemicals into my life. So now you can see why I'm whoops raw vegan again now, and I've been raw for the most part with maybe some steamed corn and peas, uh, like that, but definitely very, very high, if not all raw. I love the name too, Tessa. My friends call me Apple. It's been a nickname since childhood. Oh, that's cool. Have you always liked apples? And Tessa said I get sick around once a year. well, that's not bad, because I remember though before I went into this lifestyle, I literally feel like at least twice during the winter I would probably get a cold. And then as I got like a little bit older, it seemed like even it was becoming a thing where they would last longer, like I'd have kind of a cough and maybe a stuffy nose, like maybe through half the winter. And like it'd get this bronchial thing, and I'm like, man, I feel so much better and clearer now. And just that part of it there, without even in the spring getting allergies. And I don't think that's happened to everybody who's went vegan. I know people still have allergies, but I noticed when periods of time when I went back on heavier on the cooked food, I do feel like I experience a little bit of those allergies, not like the full on allergies, but I can sort of feel it trying to come in, but my body fights it off, where you feel your eyes maybe get watery if it's really high pollen. But I literally don't have any allergies anymore. And that's unheard of. Like for 42 years, every summer or spring, I'd wake up and I'd have allergies, I'd have stuffiness. So I'm like, man, I felt like I found a miracle when I found this diet. I don't know if you guys felt that way. So like, you know, the why somebody starts something might not be might not be what keeps them, motivated, I guess is where I'm going with it. And I remember thinking, when I was thinking about who am I, like, who do I go, like, is my audience really, like the people I seem to like really want to help. It seems like I'm always gravitated to people who are me, like 6 years ago. Like when I see people that might be suffering with something or struggling or saying they're overweight, I'm always wanting to help them. And I'm like, I think we have to be sensitive to what the why entry might be. And is that a word I made up? The why entry. When we're trying to shift people to kind of understand our beliefs and understand everything we've learned, we have to really see where they are and see what their why might be at that moment. Like, if I am talking to someone who says, I'm considering getting weight loss surgery because I'm, overweight, or I'm feeling such low energy. I don't even feel like going to work, and I can barely get up, and I'm feeling, just at my heaviest, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not eating, yeah, I'm not eating a lot. And when I hear that, it kind of reminds me of, okay, that's their why right now, is they may want to lose weight. So like for me to come and approach that person and say, well, you could save animals by going vegan, that's probably not the way I want to approach that. I want to talk to them about how I lost weight when I was, when I went plant-based. And if you aren't the one that lost weight, say maybe you were already thin and you went vegan, even for animals, you could discuss someone else's story to try to, because it doesn't matter how we're figuring this out, we have to figure it out in our own time, I guess is what I am realizing. So like trying to discuss with people what might be their why is so much more important, in a sense, to try to redirect their thoughts and their perception and their consciousness, than trying to tell them maybe even what our why is, or our current why, if that makes sense. Yes, I love them. The apples. I knew you had to love apples. I was like, unless there's some other reason, like you never liked apples, and so everyone thought it was funny to call you Apple, right? Does it even get cold in Maryland? Yeah, it gets cold. It gets like, well, to me, it gets cold, probably like, I mean, it can get down to freezing in the winter sometimes, but like I would say like probably in the 40s on average in the winter. Then it would get like, as you come into the winter, it's like 60s, then 50s. But I don't like it cold. Um, I don't really like it cold at all. Like I'd probably sound like a wimp if somebody's from up north, like New York, because it definitely gets cold there, and colder than here. And then like if you go to Alaska, I'm sure, but I'm on like also on the East Coast, like Ocean City, Maryland. Oh, and I'm excited. I wish you guys were closer, or if you know anybody or anybody's watching this, if you're in Ocean City, Maryland. And the last minute, I was able to get in on that raw food worldwide meetup that Jamie Love is hosting, and I think Dorit, is that her name? And basically, it was like what, Tuesday or something, and I saw a post from her, and I'm like, oh, can I still do it? Because I thought you had to like plan it like way ahead, and she's like, well, it only has to be a minimum of 2 people. So I'm like, great, me and Dawn can go to the beach and eat some raw food, and I'll invite anybody else that wants to show up. So I think we're gonna take like some I'll probably end up taking, no, I already have eaten my dragon fruit, so I'll take watermelon probably at that time, and get some fruit in case some people show up, and try to share it with them and experience the raw food on the beach. I thought that would be cool, but apparently there's everyone around the world is doing it, and we just are going to send her pictures, and there'll be photos on the Instagram, and like people going live from where they are, trying to just bring awareness to eating fresh raw food and produce. Fun, enjoy the worldwide meetup. I know. I'm like, I feel like September, I think she said there's another one, so I really want to try to bring a lot of people in the community in on it, because I haven't done anything in person, like events, in so long, really since COVID. I mean, it's been mostly virtual because I think I just really got used to it, and I'm like, I could be expanding this message at least to the community here where I am a little bit better, I'm sure. But I'm sure they're all friends on my Facebook and get tired of me putting plant based messages out. But you just never know when someone will see that information at the right time, and it will click. So I remember saying to someone, people always go back for, should I share about it? And I'm like, yeah, definitely I would, if you feel comfortable with it. Because that's how I found out about this, in a roundabout way too. Like, I was just talking about this. I was on the Veganpreneur podcast, and with Vlyn and Kathleen, and it was like I was talking about how I even discovered raw food, and it was to see, we were trying to grow microgreens, and like sprouts, and I was like, just happened to come across this video. Dawn was like, hey, check this out, this is called Raw Food Documentary, they're talking about living foods, and it was just crazy that that's what entered me into this whole thing. And I'm like, that's why tonight, I got off work late. I wanted to do that. I was going to do this tomorrow. And I literally got so excited. I was like, you know what? I'm going to put off my workout and put this off. I got off around 6, and I'm like, I think I want to do it tonight. I feel like people want to talk about their why tonight. Or at least maybe we can always do a to be continued on this. But I thought it was so interesting. Hey, Ryan, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. A member of our amazing Plantsformers VIP club. We've got Tessa here. Apple, I'll have to get you. The link is in the description too. I would love to have you in there if you would be interested in that. And we're just all kind of in a like a group chat. And I also have everyone on the email list so I can send out updates. And I forgot, I've got everyone's email, and I keep forgetting to send an email when I'm going live. I always put it in the chat and forget to send an email, but I was a little rushed. So I'll send an email out. Monday, I think it's going to be either tomorrow or Monday. I've got the first newsletter almost ready to go out. So it'll just be a recap of everything from the Vegan Knowledge page. And it will from that might a couple of the posts I've made. It'll be some recent live streams in my interview with Vlyn and Kathleen on that show, and I forget what else I'm putting in there. It's just going to be some cool stuff. Ryan, you have been awesome. Thank you. I never did get that other Facebook page. Hopefully we'll get that figured out. Yeah, Ryan, we're just talking about what our why was for going plant-based. And I know It for a lot of people, it's either the environment, it's the animals, it's reversing health conditions or losing weight, and so many other options that it might be. But the one thing, of course, for our animal friends, and we were talking about how it can evolve too. Like me and Tessa both started out this diet to lose weight, and then for me, mine turned into for the animals. Oh, okay. I need to sign up again. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. We can do that. I think somehow I need to be friends with that account, but we'll definitely get it right. I don't want to disturb the wrong Facebook page. Um, and Yeah, it was just cool to think about it, because I was doing my BLISS program, is how I kind of am taking through people through the coaching program, whether they want to go from um, like just being regular standard American diet into a plant-based diet, or if they want to lose weight, whether they're on a vegan diet, or or if they're trying to become raw. Like, I feel like all of that can encompass these 5 things. The first one being believe in your why. Second one is initiate a plan, and then celebrate or savor the success, like celebrate small wins. And then also, of course, you have to sustain. So like, if you don't come up with a plan and take action on it, obviously that's a big step with this. But the first thing has to be the why. And it just got me thinking. And Dawn does a show on American Dream Trading, where everyone, they're basically like stock traders, and they were talking about that same thing like recently, and about their why. The reason they wanted to begin doing this is some people are trying to pay for their children's education, and some people are trying to just be able to retire early, or be able to have money for retirement and different things, and like or to quit their job, whatever it is. And I was like, it's funny how a why has so many meanings in different things, even different realms of life. I'm thinking of the why we're going vegan. They're thinking the why they've changed careers, maybe, but there's got to be a motivation somewhere along the line, or something that enters you into it. Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you, Ryan. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that you have an account um, for that. Those are two really, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, kind of keep them targeted and focused. That way you actually end up, that algorithm will come to you, the people who are interested in that too. I like that. Um, and yeah, I just think that's the whole thing with it, is like the main motivator um that gets you started with something. I guess it could be called motivation, but like, really, to even get motivated, you have to have a why. And I don't know if a lot of you did this. Like, did a lot of you, when you started, you figured out your why, did it, did you call, was it a struggle, or was it easy for you? I would assume, like, even if you're going, even if I would have come into it for the animals, it might have been, I guess what depends on what you consider struggle, right? Like, did you struggle with what to eat, or did you just do it overnight? Did you slowly transition? I feel like for me, the one good thing that happened with me was I went into it not thinking about what I was giving up, but I kind of went into it. I think I might have talked about this a little bit in the last one. I was like, wow, I'm excited about all these raw foods. Look at what they're doing. I started listening every night to the health benefits of this and that, and cucumbers and tomatoes. And I had like 30 facts about every single fruit or vegetable anybody named, like, what that does. And then it wasn't even until this past year and a half, that I started learning a lot about the natural holistic healing, and how the body is literally healing itself, and the food we give it is kind of the pathway to allow it the room to do that. But like, also then I was excited to like add these things to my diet, even though I did eliminate everything else because I saw that's what the video said. The video said it was they were raw vegan, so I had to not eat that other stuff. But I was so excited about the stuff I was getting and all these new foods I was trying, like sprouts, for example, and making this huge salad. And as I started seeing the results every night and, also feeling better, it just like seemed like I had been looking for this my whole life. And I finally found where I was home. I'm like, this is what I was supposed to be doing, even though I was 2 days before or the day before I went raw vegan, I was literally probably eating the, I don't know, Outback steak or Chipotle, the chicken bowl or whatever, like, I mean, I never, or seafood, like I never ate, with the exception of when I was on a diet, sometimes I would eat kind of healthy, but what we considered healthy then. But like, it was like I just was a new person, but I was like okay with it. It wasn't like I was super struggling to do it. And every now and then, if I was around a situation where there was like stuff I used to eat and things like that, maybe I would like think about it for a minute, but like I would just like eat what I normally eat. And like, I'm sort of a creature of habit. So I just kind of easily transition to this. But I think it's a little more difficult for a lot of people, you know. Um, and I think that does the trick right there, is not thinking about what we're eliminating. Ryan said, my reason was spiritual life focused on compassion for all living beings, the environment, and myself. Yeah. And like right before you came on, that's so awesome, Ryan. Right before you came on, I was talking about how, like, in about 4 to 6 months in from that plant based initial journey, I got kind of like really, like making that connection, and I started seeing everything differently. I started even like throughout the years, I would see how animals are exploited in different ways that I never even thought of, like people going to the aquarium or the zoo, and how the circus and like different things like that. I'm like, it's so wild how you just see like how animals are treated just in everything, like things made with animal products that don't even have to be, and like things that like we're eating dairy and meat that are literally like hurting our health, but yet everyone thinks it's healthy. And you just start to see that huge disconnect, that is there in the world. And all of us who are doing this, all of us who have that compassion, and we're sharing it with others, and you guys for coming on here, and thank you for sharing it with me so I can put it on here on the screen and we can share it with others. Because like sometimes people won't make a connection until they hear something like that. They just never have. Like that's how it was with me. I never had that level of consciousness to connect the dots. I could see a pig on a picture and thinks it's cute, but not realize that's like what I was doing to the animal by buying that product. And then like after I made those connections, and then I did eventually go, delve back in on the cooked foods, and then I saw all the vegan products that were out there. And it's like, if people knew how good these were, even people who may not want to do it just solely for, I don't want to go raw or high raw, or I'm not interested in my, like, in this for losing weight or my health. I don't want to eat animals anymore. Like if you're in that position, even if you do want to do whole food, there's so many good recipes and things you can eat. That's what I always try to encourage to people, because I thought food was going to taste like cardboard that was vegan, like before I was vegan, right? Like you just think about something like tofu, ew, like, and it's like there's so many misconceptions. And I think that's one of the things that I think we really have to combat, because, yeah, you can't change people who aren't ready to change yet, but people who are just a little bit interested. I feel like part of what blocks people from doing something is not understanding or not knowing how, and the easier we can make it for people by telling them our story, telling them what we eat, telling them how we live, it's like it makes it more of a normalcy. Like, yes, okay, I can see me living my life this way. It's not, this big struggle every night for all of us. What are we going to eat? Oh, I don't know. What are we going to get from the store? We have no vegan food. No, there's everything really is vegan, except you're only tweaking like maybe three things, and which happens unfortunately to be the centerpiece of a lot of people's meal, but you can always just convert it to a new, you know, protein or whatever it is you want to call it, even though everything has protein, but that's a whole nother story. That's amazing. And I think I see you being this amazing spiritual person changing the world, Ryan. Thank you for that. Wow, I'm so glad you all came. And I know it's getting what is it, around 8:23. Yeah, I'll probably wrap up in about 10 minutes, because I just wanted to come on and I wanted to say to everybody who is here, and if you're watching, comment on this video and tell me what your why is. That would be really cool, because I'm going to go ahead and keep checking them. I'll check them every couple of hours tomorrow, and then I'll check them definitely daily to see if we can see, because I feel like if we all put our why down, we might be able to, somebody reading this or coming across it, if we like and share the video, we might be able to share with people why they should also consider being vegan. And I feel like that one little thing could really spark a change in someone. And I would love to even do this, a continuation of this, when we have more time with our amazing transformers. Yeah, sorry about that first club meeting. It was so like last minute. Maybe I'll try this Monday again to do another one so that I can give a little notice, or Sunday maybe even. 5:23 for Apple, and oh, that's right, I keep forgetting. Sorry guys, I've got my West Coast friends here. 5:23. Nice. I wish it was 5:23. Maybe I'll drive over there. Oh, but then by the time I get there it might change, right? Oh, I would love to have all that time left in the day. It's just now the sun is just set and it's starting to get dark, but it's staying light a lot later. I'm excited about that too. I love this time of year. I love July is like a really cool month. Dawn's birthday is in July, so it's always a fun month. We can go outside and get to the beach, and like I just love being able to like wake up and go out on the balcony and just enjoy the sunlight without freezing. Tessa, you were saying it doesn't get cold in Maryland. I forgot. Where are you on the are you north? Are you Canada, right? No. I'm thinking of Muriel. I don't know where anybody is. We're all here virtually, right? But that is so cool. I think that so let me go over them again. Like, what are other reasons people might be vegan? I'm in Ocean City, Maryland, Ryan, right here on the East Coast. Let's see. Okay, so we had and another big one we didn't talk about was when people actually are like just they're sick, like, or maybe even a chronic condition where this is their last hope is to reverse this disease with a vegan or raw vegan diet, right? Oh, that's right. Okay. Vancouver, cool. That is awesome. We have everybody is like from different areas. I love that. I love that the internet kind of brings us together, right? Like, some people are like, "Oh, I don't like the technology and everything," and it creates problems. But I'm like, I love it. I've met so many awesome people, especially being vegan and not knowing a lot of people in my life here, that like in my regular day-to-day life, that are vegan or even plant-based, or don't look at me like I'm half crazy at the grocery store with all these vegetables and fruits, right? But like the cool thing is it's okay, because that means there's a lot of people who are pre-vegan, right? But what I was going to say was that's one of the reasons I think it's cool and created the Amazing Transformers Club, because I want to give a place for everyone to meet up and like have our meetings and say, our new beginners, we can explain to them why we're vegan and how, our tips, and also be able to spread our awareness of whatever we're doing. Like, if you have your own page or products, we can share them with one another and really, um, just engage with people, because I think that's one of the reasons people go back to eating meat, honestly, when they first begin, if it hasn't resonated with them, because they see the world around them, everybody's doing things the way they used to, instead of having those like-minded people. So I love these YouTube streams and all of the creators I follow, along with Apple and Tessa, and I see Ryan on the other ones. I love all my friends there, and also a lot of the groups. Um, I love how inexpensive. Let's see, Apple said something here. Oh, Washington State. All right, Ryan's in Washington State. I grew up in the Midwest. I was living in Chicago when I became vegan, but grew up on a farm in Indiana. Oh, wow. Indiana's pretty cool. I only drove through there once. There's your message. I lost it, Apple. I love how inexpensive being a whole food vegan is. I'm finally saving money. Isn't that true? Like, I think that's especially whole food vegan. People say, oh, vegan's expensive. It's like beans are so cheap, right? Especially, do you get the bagged beans? I assume you probably do, because I know the canned ones aren't as healthy. I mean, they might be as healthy, but they have like a sodium a lot of times. I think I've heard they're a little more processed. So I used to buy those bags of beans and like, vegetable, like you could make such cool stuff like that. And that's how I feel now. It's simplified my life, especially being raw vegan. Like we go to the store and we'll buy a bunch of fruit and, some salad items, and that's it. I'm done. I don't have to think about all the, different kind of like recipes and ingredients. Although I am interested in kind of enhancing my, every now and then trying some raw vegan recipes. But I just like to eat pretty simply, Like today I've had my fruit so far, and then I'm going to have my salad. I did, try to get a little fancy with the dressings here lately, but I think I read this one. Yeah, what's everyone gonna have, or did you? Well, maybe you guys haven't yet on the West Coast. I might just be the one that eats late. Did everybody already eat? What did you have? I grew up in the Midwest, living in Chicago. Oh, that's right. But you grew up in. I did read this one. That is so cool. Have been kind of all over the place. You have a lot of experience. I bet you've met a lot of interesting people being in a bunch of different places, Ryan. You know what? I must be getting hungry because I literally forgot what I just said. Like, what did I just ask? I totally forgot. Oh, what did everyone eat? That's what it was. You know me, I'm always trying to make myself really hungry right before the end of the live stream. But just in case, and I'm sure I'll say it again before we go, I wanted to say thank you so much to everyone that has come here. Apple a day, thank you so much for joining. And I know I thought I was really excited about this topic too. Oh, that's right. Apple told me earlier she was making a salad. I totally forgot. I have a new PDF, right, that I've just put together. I'm doing a little thing where if people sign up for they can sign up for it, but I'll just, oh my goodness, that guy's driving fast. I'll just send it out to all of the Transformers, but it's a PDF of my salad and if like my whole meal plan for the day, and like all those ingredients that I put in my salad, which is like, I don't know, I feel like I'm up to like 30 things now, but it's such a good filling salad with like all these nutrients in it. And it's really good change up after I have the fruit all day. Man, the cherries have been so good. I forgot to get some of them. I might have some while I'm making the salad. What else? And then I was noticing too, I know we haven't, like, we were supposed to be talking about our why, but I went into food somehow. The dragon fruit, I've been noticing the sweeter ones, as the ones with the white and black inside, the harder they are, they're sweeter. And it's like different than other fruits. So I was just thinking about that. I need to get another dragon fruit tomorrow. Wow. So Ocean City, Maryland is like kind of a resort town, so you won't hear this in my live streams when it's like in the winter time, but everybody's out, partying. That's their thing. I'm in here talking about fruits and veggies. Um, that was a really, I think, was that like, I don't know if that was a motorcycle, but I could really hear his radio loud. But I wanted to thank Tessa. Thank you, Apple. Thank you, Ryan, for coming. I really appreciate you. I feel like was I missing someone, or were we just all talking amongst each other? Yeah, I scrolled back. We had a fun little party here. I like it when it's sometimes just intimate couple of people. We get to read all the comments. Let me see what this one said. Whoops, I meant. Here we go. I'm eating my salad right now. Kate, arugula, cabbages, carrots, bell pepper, fennel bulb, onions. Oh my goodness, with a smashed avocado with lime juice. Oh, that sounds so good. You had to add my favorite there at the end. Now that's a salad too. So you got a pretty decent salad. I thought I had a lot in mine. Let's see. Jackfruit barbecue. Oh, I've always wanted to try to make jackfruit. I've not ever had it. Well, I did. But it was jackfruit barbecue. It came in a package, and I didn't like the barbecue sauce, but I could see where the texture was like, like it definitely reminded me of something that I would love with barbecue. It just was something about that sauce. I didn't like their particular flavoring. So I've always wanted to try it, but I couldn't find jackfruit by itself. Do you buy it like, does that come in a can, or do you actually get a whole jackfruit? I wondered that. I got a soft dragon fruit and it was not very sweet. Isn't that something that the harder the dragon fruit, the sweeter it is? It's different like than others. Hi Dawn.
Hey honey.
I'm on a live stream, but I'll be finishing up in a few. You can come on if you want. I know you just were on like 14 hours of Zoom calls. Oh, you're going to work out. Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing that too.
Gotta stay disciplined.
That's right.
Hi everybody.
Dawn said hi. I think you guys can hear her probably yelling from the background. Yeah, so I just started realizing that because I thought I only had one dragon fruit today left, and it was like, oh, this is the one. It's still hard because I was like trying to wait and save that one to last. And I was like, no way. It actually was like one of the best I've had. So I'm like, well, now I'll know when I go to buy them, when I'm squeezing them, it's like different than everything else. But maybe like, how an avocado, did I tell you, I think I should, well, I put a video out. I've been having this way of ripening my avocados by putting them in a paper bag with bananas. And like the riper the bananas, then the quicker the avocados will ripen. You guys might have already known that. But the cool thing was like there's some of them, they're like really good. It happens. And then I don't know, like every now and then I call them, like, I don't know if they're like super extra hard or some way they were picked way too early. Every now and then I get avocados where it won't, like they just won't soften even with the banana for like 3 days, but most of them work. So if you get one and it doesn't work, try it again because it is a pretty good method. Oh, out of the can. Okay. Ryan said hi, Dawn. Thank you. At first I thought you said hi back, and I'm looking on the chat to see if someone came in that was like, maybe I was like, was it Becky that he was saying? I thought I missed someone. Okay, so same thing for me. Had the Trader Joe's jackfruit barbecue and did not like the barbecue sauce. Yeah, this one I think was, I don't know what brand it was, but it was from It was from a grocery store called Harris Teeter over here. So it definitely was the same kind of thing. Yeah, I was like, let's just try it next time. Just give me the jackfruit and I'll put my own sauce on it. I tend to be like that though. Like even when I order out, like if I were to order when I was eating a lot of cooked food, if I ordered like the General Tso's tofu at the Asian restaurant, I would always ask for the sauce on the side because I don't like when it's really like I used to be someone who liked everything smothered in the sauce, but then I started becoming like someone who likes it really light sauce, so they never can do it exactly like you say. So I'm like, yeah, just put it on the side. And now I barely ever eat anything out unless I order sushi. I will order avocado rolls, but usually I just make salads at home. Well, I have definitely talked myself into wanting to go eat. What about you guys? I hope you're enjoying your salad, Apple. Next time, please bring one for all of us. Wow, I've really enjoyed this. Thank you all for sharing your why with me and for allowing me to discuss this important topic. I'm so excited. I might just make another video about it, but I wanted to make another video talking about the Amazing Transformers Club. And I did a Zoom recording too, which I need to find it in this computer. It downloaded it from Zoom to somewhere, and then I'll get it in the newsletter too tomorrow. But I really am so thankful and appreciate you all coming on. Is there anything else you want to say or any other messages for people about finding their why? I think if you're, a beginner and you're looking into this, or if you're, tell us what resonated with you in the comments, or if you're here and you're been vegan for a while, tell us what your why was. I'm always so intrigued to hear what people say. And thank you all for sharing. Apple, Tessa, Ryan, I really appreciate you all. Sorry about all the noise. I feel like as soon as I came on, all the cars wanted to come, right? Neo is sound asleep behind me, but as soon as I get up out of this chair, he will run to the kitchen because he's going to want to see what's going on. I know it. He's trying to take over my chair. He's trying to push me off of it. Thank you so much, Apple. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Ryan, Tessa, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And you will have to share that how you make the barbecue sauce with us too on the group. I love a good barbecue recipe. Or do you just use the barbecue kind? I happen to start thinking about that barbecue sauce again. Anyway, thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Once I get on here, I'm like that kid that's like, remember when you were like young and in love, where you're like, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. I just love being on here and sharing this information. So, everyone, have a great night. Find your why and have your amazing transformation. Can't wait to see it. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you. Much gratitude.